You can't count on Derek's tong skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
I'm gonna start.
What?
You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Welcome into college football pregame here on CBS Sports HQ. We have Game 7 in the World Series tonight, but it's college football, so we have Game 7s all day long. We have playoff eliminators. We have must-win games. We'll be with you through it all. And who is the we? Well, you know the crew. We've got Danny Cannell, Mackenzie Brooks, Damian Harris. I'm Emily Proud. Mikey Overs is somewhere waiting in the wings to come bring us his best bets from the
right
day.
now as we speak.
Yes, but guys, it's November.
Yeah, it is.
It's getting real, Danny.
Yeah, it's Christmas season. It's what it is. It started today.
Nice.
Yes, thank you. Already feeling the vibe, but it is. There have been so many teams that we look at, and this college football playoff race is as wide open as we've ever seen it, but it's about to get real because there's a lot of contenders playing against each other. There's a lot of elimination games where your season is on the line this Saturday. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of 2-loss teams that cannot get that 3-loss. So we will be with you through it all, but let's start things off with big time on CBS. It's number 2 Indiana at Maryland at 3:30. You know the crew, Jenny, Gary, and Brad on the call. The Hoosiers, they're on a mission, and Danny, it feels like Maryland is just the next team in the way, but one of many big games in the Big Ten.
Yeah, oh boy. You know, most teams in college football have a letdown game. Last week, Alabama almost lost to South Carolina as a heavy favorite. Indiana has not had one of those. It doesn't exist at this program. Is this a potential spot for them on the road to potentially do it against a hot quarterback? I don't think so, because they're so dialed in, and Kirk Cignetti really leans into that chip on his shoulder. There's also some other really good games. USC going to Nebraska. Matt Rule newly extended there with a nice new contract extension, one of the hottest names, and yet he's 0-18 against top 25 teams. Lincoln Riley needs a big win to keep their playoff hopes alive, so really fun matchup there. All across the board, you've got these fun games taking place, and I think this is huge for a couple. Michigan, by the way, a 3-touchdown favorite against Purdue. Don't slip up.
Lincoln in Lincoln. Meanwhile, Arch Manning cleared from concussion protocol as Texas hosts number 9 Vanderbilt. 2 household names at quarterback in this one with Diego Pavia on the other side. What can we expect from this game and the rest of the SEC slate?
Well, this is going to be a separator game. I mean, we're talking about Vanderbilt, and are they a playoff caliber team? Are they an SEC championship caliber team? Well, you do that. You prove yourself by beating a Texas team that came into the country, or came into the season, number 2 team in the country, all the hype around Arch Manning, Steve Sarkisian. This is a game for Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt to continue to separate themselves and continue to put themselves in the upper echelon of the SEC. And then speaking of the SEC, we've got the world's largest cocktail party, where with Florida, you don't know what's going to happen. Mackenzie, I know you're over there clapping, you're excited, but this Florida team, they could be dangerous, because whenever you've got a team in a spot like Florida, they just fired their head coach. They haven't gone anywhere all season. Now that they've got an interim, are they going to come out and show Georgia a bunch of things that they've never seen before, or are they going to relax? You've got other good games, Ole Miss, South Carolina. The big thing for that is Lane Kiffin dialed in with this coaching conversation around his name. Ton of good games all over the SEC
We will see. Number 10, Miami, one of 4 ranked ACC teams on the road. Actually, I'm going to the Big 12, excuse me. Number 24, Utah, hosting number 17, Cincinnati in the Muss. We all know what the Muss is. They'll be rocking tonight for a Big 12 showdown. Danny, what can we expect?
The odds makers are just, they're perplexing me this week. They're not giving Cincinnati much of a chance. And Cincinnati's a team I've been trying to hype up because of Brendan Sorsby is playing fabulous, but it's one of their bigger tests on the road. They played neutral at Arrowhead. They played at Oklahoma State. This will be their first real test in the road environment at altitude. It is a tough place to play. So Utah is a formidable opponent too. We'll see if the odds makers potentially are right on that one. And then Texas Tech, Baron Morton is back, but watch out, Kansas State, Avery Johnson, Chris Kleiman's squad, we forgot about them. They started the season rough. All of a sudden, they're playing much better football. They're playing at home. That's a spot to potentially be unaware of upset alert for Texas Tech. If they don't take care of business, they will find themselves in a fourth quarter dogfight.
8 straight wins for Kansas State in that rivalry. Number 10, Miami, one of 4 ranked ACC teams on the road at unranked ACC foes. So someone's got to get got today, Kens. What are we going to learn about the ACC?
Well, right now it seems like there's 4 to 5 Big 12 and ACC teams in contention to make the playoff, which quite frankly we just don't have room for. I think there's going to be 3 in general when it comes down to it between the ACC and Big 12. You're looking at these ACC teams right now, Miami specifically, Georgia Tech specifically, playing for their at-large hopes. Obviously anyone can go on and win the ACC championship, but Miami and Georgia Tech right now this morning have this luxury of a potential at-large. I'm not so sure that's going to be the case when it comes down to it. As of right now, in our projected model bracket, we do have Georgia Tech winning the ACC championship, Miami as a runner-up and still getting that at-large bid, but you do have to make it past the ponies today to keep those hopes alive, Em.
Yeah, Georgia Tech also one of those ranked teams on the road at an unranked opponent. I have a feeling we're going to learn a lot about a lot of teams today, so that Sportsline bracket is not written in stone.
It's gonna shake up.
Continue to change, but we want to point our attention to a big game between Vanderbilt and Texas. And Damian, I'm looking at this game, just obviously the headline, of course, Arch Manning is cleared. He will play in this game. How does that impact what we see today?
Well, it gives you some familiarity at the quarterback position. I mean, obviously he's been their guy all year, and that's what you want. You want your starter to be playing, but are you super confident that he's going to go out and deliver and play at a level and outduel Diego Pavia? I mean, I don't. Granted, it's a good thing I'm not in the Texas locker room, but I think that if you're a player for Texas, if you're Steve Sarkisian, yes, there's a lot of hype. It's all about Vanderbilt. It's all about Diego Pavia. Make this game about you. Make this the game where Arch Manning has his breakout game into where we can finally start to relax on some of the negative talk about him. Get your defense playing back well at the standard that they were playing at the beginning of the season. Get your wide receivers involved. Try to get the run game involved. If I'm Texas, this game is all about us and shoring up the things that we haven't been good at all year.
Yeah, getting your starting quarterback cleared to play should be a positive thing, but as you mentioned, how do you feel about it, Danny?
You want to play.
Yes.
I mean, you absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think he's cleared. He went through the steps of protocol. I think he plays today because one of 2 reasons. One, you don't want to get Wally pipped. Like, you never know what Caldwell's going to do behind you, and you don't want that pressure if he steps up and you're playing with house money as the backup and he has a good game. Then all of a sudden that puts pressure on you. The other thing is I think Arch needs to carry the momentum from the fourth quarter comeback in Starkville last week. I thought that was a huge moment for Arch to kind of just have this release of all the pressure to show, all right, I can score 24 unanswered points and lead my team to victory on the road. I think that was a huge confidence boost for him. So I think you want to try to keep that momentum rolling. Can I say something about Diego Pavia?
Go for it.
You know what I would like to see from Diego Pavia this week?
What?
I would like the substance to match the hype.
Thank you.
Because in the last few games, as he has gotten to better competition, the numbers have dwindled. And I would like to see him put this Vanderbilt team on his back through the air and even through the ground. He did it against Missouri. He had the 2 rushing touchdowns, but he really hasn't been that much of a passer. I think Texas will be able to take away the ground game. So I would like to see Diego Pavia step up in some passing situations, make some big plays on the road, and keep this Vanderbilt Cinderella story going. If he doesn't, I don't think we should be talking about him for the Heisman Trophy anymore.
I just want to take a moment to say I have never in my life agreed with Danny Cannell more. Never in my life.
We're growing so much.
When you talk about, you know, the press conferences, when you talk about the Heisman poses, the 2 turnt hats, and all of these things, it's like you're still trying to accomplish all of your goals. You have not won an SEC championship. You have not won a national championship. The only thing on your belt right now is beating Alabama and some other good SEC teams. Granted, Vanderbilt, they are making their way to the top of the conference, but what do you have to show for it? So with all the theatrics, all the hype, Vanderbilt starting this campaign where everybody's like, oh, well, they're supporting their quarterback. For what? For what? What has he done? Granted, he's a great football player. He's a culture setter. But when we talk about Heisman, when we talk about these illustrious awards that used to hold so much merit, and it seems like nowadays we're just giving them out to whoever's hot, whoever we like the best, we need to bring the competitiveness and the numbers and the performance on the field back to these kind of awards.
Unfortunately, if the Heisman is about hype and it is about popularity, because if it wasn't, we would be talking about Haynes King at Georgia Tech a lot more. They're almost the same quarterback. When you look at their style of play, they're both physical runners. They're both emotional leaders. But Haynes King, he doesn't have a Netflix documentary this offseason. He doesn't, go out there and guarantee wins. And he doesn't have a former Heisman Trophy winner as his hype man and Johnny Manziel. If Haynes King had those things, he'd probably be higher and a better betting favorite for the Heisman. But he's not. He's just humble and goes around his business. And he doesn't have a loss.
This is all Johnny Manziel's fault. It's all Johnny, just like everything else. It's all Johnny Manziel's fault.
There's certainly no hardware yet for Diego Pavia, but in terms of what he's done for Vanderbilt, they've beaten 3 ranked teams for the first time
been awesome.
in school history. They have their
Wonderful.
highest ranking since 1930.
But their defense is pretty good.
They're
They
a
have
good
other
football
players
team.
on
It's
that
not
team.
Yes.
like, well, last year whenever they beat Alabama, we all sat here and we were like, man, Diego Pavia put the team on his back, similar to when Johnny Manziel did the first time. But then when you look at them this year, they're a good football team. They're good
100%.
defensively. They've got good pieces around Diego Pavia that make his level of play go up as well. So let's not still have that same mentality of this is just the fighting Diego Pavias. No, Vanderbilt is a great football team.
Kansu needs this win more.
Oh, I mean, Texas, unfortunately, they are still alive.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But here we go. You're going to try to sell me on the 3 losses. Here we go. Go ahead,
Hold
sell
on.
me.
Let's start with Vanderbilt. We don't even have them in the playoff right now because we only have 4 teams.
Right.
If this is like flying standby on an airplane, Vandy's first in line. They're really just hoping for a second ACC team to not make it on the plane. They're hoping maybe Ole Miss fumbles. They're hoping maybe Notre Dame fumbles. One of those situations is very likely. So they are on standby to be the 5th SEC team. Texas, in some ways, is blessed with kind of a difficult schedule at the back half. If they can go 2-1 in these legitimately top 10 games, we're talking about Texas A&M, Georgia, and today, and they're a 9-3 team, there's absolutely a chance that they can make the college football playoff as a 9-3 team. I've always said all season, 10-2 SEC teams, it's basically a surefire ticket to make the playoff. There's specific SEC teams, if they go 9-3, given their schedule, it is certainly possible as well if uncontrollables fall in their favor. But you're looking at number 5 Georgia and number 3 Texas A&M to finish the year. So going 2-1 in those games specifically keeps you very much alive in the playoff.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so since you're talking about a 9-3 SEC team, do you think that there would be any look back to SMU, who got in over a 9-3 Alabama last year, and then seeing how they performed in the first round? Do you think that that'll play a little bit in the minds of decision makers when if they look at a 9-3 Texas team with the back half of their schedule being what it is?
I think you're looking at the wrong part of that. It's less about the schedule and more about the conference. I think last year didn't bode well for getting an ACC runner-up. If anything, they're just going to want more SEC teams because, again, we're talking about a committee here. So the way SMU performed, I think, punished the ACC, not 9-3 teams overall.
And I do think, because remember, in that game, SMU-Clemson, SMU was getting run. They were down 3 touchdowns. If they don't come back, I think they are left out. So I think a lot of this does depend. There's recency bias that comes in, and there's this magical new metric, the strength of schedule metric, which we don't know how the committee's going to feel about it yet, but I do think it will favor the SEC clearly. I almost feel like for Texas, speaking of recency bias, if you lose today close and you beat the brands of A&M and Georgia, I think that's the best case for a 9-3 Texas team to get in. Because let's say they win today, Vanderbilt could finish the season, 8-4 potentially? Like, I think it's better. And then if you lose to Texas A&M or Georgia, then it looks like, oh, you can't compete with the heavyweights. Or if you beat those last 3 weeks of the season, that would be, to me, more significant.
I think one thing my team has learned, and I've learned the past 2 seasons doing this, is like, the more bizarre the loss is, the more we're just going to forget about it.
Like Alabama?
Right. Like when
no one remembers Alabama got beat by the worst team in the ACC.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you almost rather pick your spots at these, as 14-point favorites and then win the really big pick'ems against a Georgia or an Ole Miss or Texas, et cetera. It's so fascinating that that's the case.
Yeah, because ultimately they're human beings that are making this decision in the committee. And we're going to learn a lot this Tuesday when we get the first iteration of the College Football Playoff Committee rankings, but we're gonna just tease of what that is gonna look like by giving you our guys and what they think in terms of their top 12 teams.
I can't
Danny,
wait to tell you.
You want to take a sip and start us off here with your
Absolutely.
top 12
Here we
teams?
go. Now, I favor resumes right here. What's the problem with this one? So you've got the 5 undefeateds leading off the bat there. Then I think Oregon is the best one-loss team out there. Their only loss to Indiana. They've been pretty much dominating every other opponent. They still have Dante Moore back there who's getting better and better. Then I have Miami. I think people are forgetting about Miami. Their loss is not that bad as people make it out to be. Plus, they have one of the best wins in the country over Notre Dame. I do have Alabama, the best of the one-loss SEC teams. Then I have Georgia, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and then Navy, the undefeated from the group of five. I think the American could absolutely see carnage with a two-loss conference champ. Navy could be that team that ends up unscathed at the end. So those are my 12. Deal with it, Ken.
Listen, now I'm going to not be upset. I can't believe you have 5 SEC teams.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
I'm giving them the love they have. Now, again, this is if the season ended today. This is not moving forward because a lot of these are going to take care of themselves.
Danny, let me ask you something, because you said something. You said Oregon is the best one-loss team in the country, which I don't want to debate that with you right now.
Right.
But if Alabama and Oregon play today on a neutral field, what do you think the line is?
Oh, so here we go. The king of the hypothetical wins. That's the old SEC argument. No. I think Alabama would be favored. I just asked the line. Would be favored. But that's the hypothetical matchup. I think Alabama would be favored in that one. But speaking of Mackenzie, we're just talking about the losses. What if we get the Alabama team that showed up and played Florida State and got beat by 2 touchdowns versus a team that is at the bottom of the ACC? I think it's crazy we just forget about that loss altogether. Like, it goes back to the recency bias. Like, if that game happens in November, now we're writing Alabama off. But because it was the first week of the season, they get a complete pass.
Hold on. But, so now we're quick to forget that the Oregon win against a very bad Penn State team.
It was a win is a win. I'll never apologize for a win. I'll never apologize for a win.
Win is a win. Okay. How quickly we forget.
It's hard.
My goodness.
It's hard to win.
Speaking of wins, your team might not win, but our friend Mikey Overs wants to make sure you win. Ken?
My guy Mikey, listen, I know I'm at the big kid desk right now. I don't want you to panic. I'll be back in the gambling cave soon. But before I get there, let's warm it up here. Mikey Overs, obviously you have overs. Unders are against your religion. What are we thinking for an over today, Mikey?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this Mississippi State-Arkansas over. We're looking at a Mississippi State team that just scored 38 points against Texas, who I think a lot of people would say has one of the best defenses in college football. And now you get to play Arkansas, who I'd probably relate their defense to, I'd say, a piece of Swiss cheese. And Taylon Green is also nothing to shake a stick at. So I love these points. Give me all the points in the world. This is just going to be fun. Like 65.5. I mean, have you ever seen that many points?
Mikey, true or false, every time you see the highest total on the board, you do not hesitate and you just take the over?
Yeah, this is a tradition that goes all the way back to college, me and my buddies.
Okay. I'm not going to ask what the record is there, but I will ask for your most disgusting, vile, sicko mode play of the day.
Yeah, just gross, disgusting, vile, foul. Someone tell Danny to shut his ears, but Wake Forest money line is just looking at me right. Robbie Ashford and his backup Purdy, they specialize in spoiling your day. And a 10-point spread, I think everyone looks at that, you go, oh, how do I not click Florida State? And I'm just going to be the guy in his little basement, the gremlin that goes, I think I'm going to click Wake Forest money line at plus 310.
Wow. See, now I got to get back in the cave. I know I'm playing professional here, and now I'm like, I gotta go get back in the trench.
The main desk looks fun.
Go talk to your friend Ken, because he is.
I'll be back.
A little unhinged. Hey, Service Academy action on CBS only means one thing: the Commander-in-Chief's trophy is up for grabs. Step aside, SEC. We'll tell you why this game just means more. And later, Brian Kelly is out at LSU, and a whole lot has happened since. What it means for the next man up. You are watching College Football Pregame on CBS Sports HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You are going to die tonight. What are you talking about? Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
What? It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes. New season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
A crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. The power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
I'm going to spend the rest of my career protecting my father's mission. We don't quit.
Thank you.
That's what my dad would do.
Warden, take care of my brother Kyle, and I'll take care of you.
This is my castle now.
What you expect in return? Partnership.
Mayor of Kingstown. New season now streaming on Paramount+.
זה בקיבוץ? בוא נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season now streaming exclusively on Paramount+. UFC on Paramount+, streaming this January. Champions League. Every picture tells a story. And every great story
Would you believe this?
needs an audience.
Paris Saint-Germain have won the Champions League. It's a really special moment.
Step inside the frame and feel every match, every goal,
Truly remarkable.
every moment of the world's best soccer.
Shakespearean drama, that's all you can see.
The UEFA Champions League. Every goal, every game, live on Paramount+.
Let's go save the universe.
Now that's more like it.
Are you ready to laugh
Nailed it.
till you turn blue?
Oh no.
That got weird. Smurfs, rated PG, now streaming on Paramount+.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars. What a difference she has made.
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
A crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
The second leg of the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy is up for grabs at noon. We are, of course, your headquarters for the CIC Trophy. You can watch this one on CBS, and I know someone who will be on the sidelines for this big game. Tiffany Blackman joins us live from Colorado Springs ahead of this one. Tiff, I apologize in advance. It looks very chilly there, but we appreciate you bringing this game to us. Let's just start with what this one means. It's a throw the record books out kind of game. So talking to these teams, how much bigger is this Commander-in-Chief's Trophy game compared to the rest of their schedule?
Yeah, Emily, look, glad to be with you guys this morning. It is a bit chilly, but the game is going to be a good one as we anticipate. And just for how much this means to both teams, well, and talking to these guys, just like you said, you throw the record out when it comes to CIC games. And we spoke with Army's linebacker, Anton Thomas, and he told us that last year when they didn't win the CIC, that they felt so much pain for not having accomplished that moment for their seniors. So they carry that feeling going into this game. It means a lot to these guys, and the same thing goes for the other side with nose tackle Peyton Sedroik telling us that these CIC games, they're like the equivalent of being the Super Bowl. Everyone's going to be watching and tuning in to see how both of these two teams play, and they wipe the slates clean, but they're excited about this one and super pumped. There's a lot to look forward to in this matchup.
Yeah, for the Black Knights, I mean, they're looking to win their third straight against the Falcons for just the second time in series history. How much is that discussed in that Air Force locker room, wanting to make sure they break that streak?
Yeah, I don't know how much they're going to tell us about it. It didn't come up in our meetings. You know, it's kind of status quo here. But I can tell you that it probably is somewhere in the back of their minds. And when you look at this Air Force team, for them to get a win in this game, they're going to have to keep doing what they've been doing. That's rely heavily on the run game and quarterback Liam Zarka, who, by the way, has rushed for 725 yards this season. He's also passed for over 1,000. So a dual threat QB who's getting it done. But you have to keep an eye on the rest of the playmakers on this offense. Offensive coordinator Mike Thiessen has got to be having so much fun getting to dial up different things each game. When you look at, they've got Kate Harris, a weapon for them last week or the week before their bye week. You saw fullback Owen Allen, kind of erupt there too with the run game. So those are some keys for Air Force on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, we saw a young group really step up, and a sophomore and a freshman came up with game-changing interceptions in their last matchup against Wyoming. They're going to need those guys to step up big again here too against this Army team today.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Tiffany Blackman, thank you so much for that great preview, and we don't have to wait long to watch this Service Academy game. When you're looking at a game like this, she broke down just what it means. What does it mean to you, Danny Cannell?
To me, having covered these games and even more importantly, got to talk to some of the players before these games, I love hearing these young men. They are the future leaders of our country.
Gosh,
so that impressive. Is one of the favorite parts about it, the way the pride they play for our country. But they also pour it out in the field. And my favorite thing about this game is to bet it. That's the most fun about this one because I think it's one of the best locks of the year. And, you know, on Day Trading Danny, I go to different resources. You know, some people, when they get stock trading advice, they go to Goldman Sachs, they go to BlackRock, they go to the Standard & Poor's. I go to Fornelli Advisors because he is the best out there in the business. Tom Fornelli of the Cover 3 podcast of CBS Sports joining us now. Tom, this is your play. You've been playing it every time we see service academies. We're going back to the well again, aren't we?
Oh, God, yes. You ask what this game means to these teams. What this game means to me is call me Northrop Grumman because I make money off of it. Since 2005, the under in games between service academies has gone 47, 13, and 1. That is an incredible rate, and it's pretty easy to understand why, because these teams all run option offenses, which means they're running the ball nearly 70 to 75% of the time. And when you run the ball, college clock rules, clock never stops. There's not as many big plays. You need 8-9 play drives to score touchdowns. That limits possessions. Limited possessions lead to limited points. That is why the under for years has been such a valuable play. Now, I also have to come and say that since the start of last season, the under is only 1-3 in these games. So what we all need to do is we need to contact our local congressperson, our senators, anybody in the government, and plead with them to tell these service academies to stop throwing the dang ball, get back to what you do, hand it off, churn some clock, and cash these unders.
I will say, though, the under, thank you, Tom Fornelli, for that is 11-0 versus Air Force under Jeff Monken. So 11-0 feels like a pretty decent trend that we should keep track of.
Definitely.
Well,
I like that.
There are no sure things. I do appreciate all the fun references that you guys threw out there. I don't know about you, Damien, but a lot of those are going over my head.
I'm just here hanging out.
That's all right. Hanging out. Well, we have you here, of course, because there's more than just this game on CBS. And the one that we're looking at is big time between Indiana Indiana and Maryland. And my eyes go straight to the Heisman Trophy favorite in Fernando Mendoza. So, Damian, is he, I think I know the question of this, your Heisman Trophy favorite at this point in the season?
It's early.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
I said at this point in the season.
But at this point in the season, he is certainly playing like a Heisman Trophy favorite, finalist, maybe even a winner. But here's what I want to do. I don't want to spend this entire segment talking about Indiana because I know that's what everybody's doing going into this game. Let's talk about Maryland for a second and why they might make it hard for Fernando Mendoza. Let's talk about numbers like 14 interceptions on the year, 22 sacks. They're top 10 in turnover ratio. And then on top of that, offensively, they are outscoring their opponents 175, Danny, to 50 in the first 3 quarters combined. So what does that tell me? If Indiana comes out today and Fernando Mendoza plays like, okay, I'm going to be a Heisman Trophy finalist. If they show up and they're like, we're one of the best teams in the country, we just have to take care, stay alive, and win this game, stay healthy, keep our guys healthy, they're going to get beat. This is going to be a dogfight. I played for Mike Locksley. He is a tough-nosed coach who knows how to get the most out of his players. We've seen that from this Maryland team this year. So my message to Indiana is show us that you're one of the best teams in the country. And don't show us in the fourth quarter. Show us from the first snap until the last whistle and just dominate this game because it's a game that they should. But Maryland definitely poses some challenges to where if Indiana doesn't start fast, they're going to be in a dogfight.
I agree. But I do think Kirk Cignetti is one of the best in the business currently at making sure his team is up. And Indiana's not really used to this. They're not used to everybody heaping all this praise on them. So it's kind of easier to say, remember last year, everybody doubted you, said you didn't belong. I still think he's thriving on that message. And when they played UCLA, what was the message? UCLA's 3-0. When we're playing against Maryland, he's talked about this Maryland team like they're a national championship.
They're the greatest thing since sliced
bread. And that's
bread.
the best way to approach it. So, but I agree with you. Maryland is a dangerous team. Malik Washington might be a future Heisman Trophy candidate or a future NFL draft pick. But I'm going to say this because the Miami Dolphins suck. Okay? And you wonder where I'm going with this.
I do.
Because we've seen historically, we saw suck for luck. We saw tank for Tua. I'm saying flop for Fernando.
Ooh.
Because I want the Miami Dolphins to clean house and take Fernando Mendoza with whatever draft pick they're left with at the end of the season, which has been abysmal. They had one win against Atlanta last week. You thought maybe it got back on track. Fired their general manager. I think they need to clean house. Draft Fernando Mendoza, the local kid. He's the next thing, sure thing at quarterback. That finally, Mike Renner has been all over Fernando Mendoza as the best NFL caliber player. He is that. But Emily, to your question about the Heisman Trophy, here's why he's the favorite, and I think he's going to be in New York City. I think the Heisman Trophy winner comes down to the winner of the Big Ten championship game. Fernando Mendoza versus Julian Sayin, because they have the easiest paths to get there. Ty Simpson, as good as he's been, he's got some tougher challenges along the way, and I think he potentially could slip up or have a game where statistically, I mean, even last week against South Carolina, didn't have that game, so he kind of fell a little bit by the wayside. I think the Heisman winner comes from the winner of the Big Ten championship.
Or Danny Cannell just said that there's more opportunity for Ty Simpson to have a Heisman moment. That's what I heard.
True.
Yeah,
He's already had a bunch.
Combined conference record of the rest of Indiana's schedule starting today is 1-17.
Yikes!
Not ideal. It's a triple header on CBS. First, we have Army at Air Force. Then it's big time Maryland hosting number 2 Indiana. We also have a nightcap, guys. The Pac-12 championship game, Washington State at Oregon State. But it's time now for a little parlay pick presented by FanDuel. Let's send it over to Mackenzie and Mikey together again.
Now, Emily, typically we make these parlays together.
We do.
This specific one, I let Mikey take the reins on. I actually don't know what it is, and I'm going to let him tell me about our 3 legs of the CBS parlay.
When we have a triple header, we have to, instead of just being smart, we have to put it all in one parlay.
Correct.
So that's what I did.
Yes.
So, Mikey, take the wheel.
Parlay.
Army Air Force, what word comes to your mind
Under.
when you hear that? Wrong, the over.
We're taking the over?
First leg over in Army Air Force. It's a new age. It's a new age, kids. Get back here. It's a new age of Army Air Force. We're getting points. I promise you, they're throwing the ball now. We're not just lining up meat and potatoes. Second leg, Indiana, Maryland, first word. What do you think?
Indiana, Maryland, first word. Indiana to cover.
I would say, nope, the same as the last word, the over. Point. Maryland's coming off a bye. Indiana's got one of the most electric offenses. Let's just see 2 great quarterbacks battle.
All right, right on. on. So the craziest trend, strongest under in America. We're going to take the over, correct? And then we're also going to take more points.
More points.
Because what else would we get in the Big Ten? More points.
Imagine you're sitting on your couch and you have 100 total points across 2 games.
We're asking for 100 total points. You do realize what we're doing here.
100 total points. Last leg, Washington State, Oregon State, plus 3.5. We're taking the points with Oregon State.
Fine.
Literally,
Fine.
maybe the worst team in college football. You just take points here. You take the points, you put them in your back pocket, and you go, oh my God, what am I watching?
Oh my God, I hate it here, but I'm in. I'm in. Damn it.
Look at all those points.
We're asking for 100 points, Mikey, between 2 games on CBS.
And that's why we do it. That's why we do it.
All right. You know what? Plus 614. Pay for the drinks. Sure.
He's not called Mikey Unders, so certainly living up to that name. A reminder that every week FanDuel is giving you a 50% profit boost on the biggest college football showdown. That means you can boost your winnings by 50% on the biggest matchup. Download the FanDuel app and bet the big match on campus with a boost right now. Some of the biggest jobs in the sport came open before the calendar turned to November. We've got the latest on Brian Kelly and James Franklin and the openings they left behind next on College Football Pregame.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
בקיבוץ? בואי נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You are going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic. You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence. You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch.
We got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Let's get you your injury report, starting with a huge game for Texas at hosting 9th-ranked Vanderbilt. Arch Manning spent the week in concussion protocol after being injured in last week's win over Mississippi State. Manning now off the injury report, so he should be good to go. They'll kick off at noon Eastern in Austin. Meanwhile, some bad news, though, for Arizona State. They learned this week that quarterback Sam Leavitt will miss the rest of the season with a foot injury, so Jeff Sims will take over as the starter against Iowa State. They're also listing star wide receiver Jordan Tyson as doubtful. The news, though, more promising for Texas Tech. Their QB, Baron Morton, considered probable to play today at Kansas State after missing the past 2 weeks with a leg injury. They'll kick off at 3:30 Eastern in Manhattan. And our game on CBS this afternoon, we have number 2 Indiana heading to College Park to take on Maryland. Hoosiers, though, could be without All-American linebacker Aiden Fisher. He's questionable after injuring his left knee and right elbow in last week's win over UCLA. That kickoff is at 3:30 on CBS. Big game in the SEC today between Georgia and Florida. The Bulldogs, though, will be without their leading receiver Colby Young. He broke his leg. That is a 3:30 kickoff in Jacksonville. Some good news for Utah. They're expected to have quarterback Devin Dampier back in the lineup tonight against number 17 Cincinnati. I know it feels like we've lived 1,000 lives since Brian Kelly was fired Sunday night, but it hasn't even been a week. Sure, we have spent most of that week listening to unhinged press conferences. So let's show you the timeline of events, right? LSU got blown out by A&M at home Saturday night. By Sunday night, Brian Kelly was fired, and then they owed the second largest buyout in college football history. On Wednesday, the governor of the state of Louisiana held a press conference about SNAP benefits for his state and instead sounded off on the LSU coaching search, saying he would rather have Donald Trump make the next hire over Scott Woodward. And in a shocking turn of events, Scott Woodward parted ways with LSU.
That's a nice way of saying you got fired, by the way.
That's the language that we're using, but yeah, no Scott Woodward, so we have no head coach, no athletic director, but ultimately, Danny, a lot of buyouts. What does what happened this week at LSU mean for this coaching search?
It just got even wilder than we thought it was going to get. You've got multiple prime top jobs in college football open in every fan base of those: LSU, Florida, Arkansas, even the Penn State. They all think they're going to get their guy. Well, guess what? A lot of their guys are getting re-upped, like you said, Emily. So I think you're going to see some teams scrambling, and you're going to see some absolutely absurd money being thrown at these coaches, which to me, I don't want to hear any more of the administrations, the university presidents, athletic directors crying about how financially cash-strapped you are when you keep doling out these massive contracts with mega buyouts. Stop crying about your finances as long as you start handing out these dumb contracts to college football coaches. At some point, some team is going to realize that the most important thing to winning in football is the players on the field. If they put more money to the players and less to the coaches, that is your quickest way to win a national championship.
Beautifully said. I have zero, like absolutely no notes. There's no meat left on that bone. I mean, Danny Cannell, you laid it out perfectly. And what I love the most about what you said was talking about the ownership that, you know, the people that make these decisions have to take. Because to your point again, you're not going to get your guy. More than likely getting a Lane Kiffin, that probably isn't going to happen. They're going to give him a big amount of money that he cannot and will not refuse. And you got guys like Kurt Signetti, people that got the names that people want. Well, you're not going to get those guys, and then you're going to have to find the next best guy. Well, don't pay that same guy what you were going to pay Lane Kiffin. Don't pay them what you would pay Kurt Signetti if you could get them just because that's what you're stuck with. So be more financially responsible. And Danny hit the nail right on the head. Bill Belichick used to tell me this all the time. Players win games, coaches lose them.
Speaking of financial responsibility, we also saw Matt Rule get an extension, Rhett Lashley getting an extension last night. So both of those coaches are locked in for the next 7 years at their respective schools. Danny, was this a smart move? We'll start with Nebraska.
So it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. Like, yes, I think it's smart to keep your coach, but at what cost? Because Matt Rule, and I love him, I think he's a great football coach, but he is 0-18 against top 25 opponents. Not top 10, not top 5, top 25 opponents. Yes, Nebraska, I like that you're retaining him, but at what cost? Because if it doesn't turn around anytime soon, guess what we're going to be talking about in a few years? A massive buyout for Matt Rule. Same thing with Rhett Lashley. I love Rhett Lashley. I think he's a great football coach, but at what cost? And they are getting skewered by the agents that represent these coaches because there's a desperation. We can't lose our guys, so you just back up the Brinks truck.
If you include Kurt Signetti in this, who got an extension a few weeks ago, that's now 3 coaches who have benefited from this coaching carousel.
Oh, there's more to come.
This is certainly not it. But Damian, is there a way to stop this cycle of these massive buyouts and extensions? I mean, through 2032, I don't know what I'm having for lunch, let alone what's going to happen in 7 years from now.
I think it's just understanding what Danny said. The players win the football games. I mean, we can pay these coaches a lot of money, but we know they also have an agenda. Now, granted, it's to win championships and things like that, but just like the players with NIL money, just like NFL players seeking the highest contract in free agency, a lot of these coaches, in my mind, have to be picking the highest bidder. What team is going to give me the biggest buyout? What team is going to give me the most guaranteed money and financial securement with losing, with not winning, with not performing? We are awarding coaches for underperforming, and they know that, and they know that when they sign their name on the dotted line. So what is the recipe for this? Just like we've asked, what is the recipe for stopping NIL, transfer portal? There's a lot of things in college football that are just so wild, wild west style right now that it's almost impossible to figure out how to get it back to normal.
I think there's one of two solutions. One is a school needs to step up and be willing to say, if you want that job, if you view it as better than ours, then good luck. We'll find somebody else at a really high price that can keep winning at our program. That's probably not going to happen. I do think an adjustment to these contracts that could be made is that the coaches would get higher annual salaries for a shorter term. Like you were saying, like 2032, that's insane. But maybe you back it up and you make $13 million a year for 3 or 4 years, like shorter term, because this is a short term, what have you done for me lately business. I think one of those two adjustments need to be made.
Yeah, a lot of it is just kind of panic mode, not wanting to lose your guy necessarily. But now it seems like we have some of those coaches that are no longer in contention for some of these jobs. But somebody needs to be hired because the coaching carousel continues to spin. You see those 3 jobs open down at the bottom with Penn State, Florida, LSU. Those are absolutely massive jobs, and TBD on who ends up filling them. But we'll continue to talk about SMU. Why? Because they're playing Miami today. Could the Hurricanes potentially be on upset alert? Them and maybe a few other teams we'll discuss next on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic. You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence. You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
It was a scary day to be Rice. Number 25 Memphis with a dominating win on the road. Frank Pleasant, not so pleasant for the defense. He rushed for 3 touchdowns. 38-14 was the final as the Tigers continue to make their college football playoff case. And look at that, North Carolina, Bill Belichick getting his first ACC victory, and La Tech with a 55-14 victory over Sam Houston. Guys, take a look at this though. Ranked teams on the road at unranked. Could we potentially see some upsets today? It didn't happen for Rice, but 9 games today with ranked teams on the road versus unranked opponents. That makes me think that somebody has got to lose. So we're putting some teams on upset watch. Danny, who is your team on upset watch?
So I guarantee you one of these teams are going to lose.
It's going to happen.
But it's really hard to pick. Can we put up the list again just so I could see them again? Because I need to get one in my mind.
Visualize and
There's a lot of
attack.
opportunities in
Visualize
the
and
ACC
attack.
in particular.
I have the Georgia Bulldogs on upset alert.
Ooh.
Florida Gator, they're both coming off a bye, but Florida with a new play caller. Talked to a lot of Florida people this week. They think DJ Lagway is going to be unleashed. Just let him cut it loose. And I also think their offensive and defensive lines are still pretty good up there that can go toe-to-toe physically with Georgia. And I don't think Georgia's that dominant team that was winning multiple national champions. So I think they're a little bit vulnerable.
Who you got on upset alert?
Give me the Miami Hurricanes. But just because, here's the thing, first and foremost, I'm just not sure about this Miami team. The same way that we were unsure last year when they had Cam Ward as the #1 overall draft pick. They were great on offense. Granted, they didn't play as good of defense as they do this year. They didn't have the guys like Ruben Bain on the defensive line that could get pressure on the opposing quarterback. But I'm not sold. It's too much of the same story year in and year out, similar to what we talk about with Penn State before James Franklin got fired. So I'm not sold on them. And then you look at SMU. Rhett Lashlee just got a big extension. I'm sure he's very motivated to go out and win this game. Kevin Jennings, he's a good quarterback in college football. He might put that on display today and beat the Hurricanes.
Yeah, Ponies lost at Wake Forest their last game out. Maybe a look-ahead spot, I don't know. But I know that Mikey and Mackenzie were watching that game, guys.
You know, Damian, I really support that pick. Mikey has banned me from betting on the ponies.
We have to put the ponies
He told me
away.
I have to put the ponies away. But
away.
let it be known, I am in on that play. But I have pivoted because the ponies have been banned from this specific room. We're going to go with Kansas State.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Yeah.
Specifically, this rivalry, they eat for breakfast. They've won 8 of the last straight versus Texas Tech. They've won 12 of the last 13. Like, this is a team that just owns them. And for whatever reason it is, Kansas State loves to show up in the back half of the season. Avery Johnson, welcome to the 2025 season. Let's hear it. I don't know what it is about it, but this is when they play, when there's literally no pressure. They're 100% alive to win this outright.
I agree. And they played that fun game where they just decide not to show up, and I bet on them.
Yeah, and look it. We are not with the public, which is what you like to see.
That's what you love to see. Give me the Wildcats, dude. I'm so in on Kansas State plus 7.5 now that Avery Johnson is back. Now that he's back, we're back.
Yes.
Arch Manning, and he will be playing today. So let's talk a little Texas, a little Vanderbilt. It's coming up next here on College Football Pregame.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day 1.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling the pandemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes. New season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tonk skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Arch Manning will start today against Vanderbilt in a must-win for the Longhorns. Safe to say his play this season has not lived up to the ridiculously sky-high expectations set for him as a high schooler. Yes, the offensive line play has been questioned, as has Steve Sarkisian's play calling, but he did have a career-high passing yards against Mississippi State and an impressive come-from-behind win, so maybe things are looking up. I have the perfect person to ask about that, and that is Chip Brown from Horns 24/7, who joins us live from the press conference about an hour out from kickoff. And Chip, let's start with Arch. He has officially been cleared from concussion protocol, expected to start today. What should we expect from him coming off that injury?
Well, I think you should expect Arch Manning to be a clear-headed quarterback focused on trying to get his team a critical win today against a top 10 Vanderbilt team. Think about that for a second. But yeah, I mean, Texas wouldn't put him out there if they didn't feel like he was clear-headed and out of the protocol. Now it's up to the Texas offensive line and Steve Sarkisian to put Arch Manning in position to be successful.
Nationally, of course, the talk about Arch is understandably toxic, but I'm curious about within that building, how is he viewed among that team based on his current play?
Well, he's a guy who's learning, he's growing. And I think we're seeing flashes of really, top-notch play from Arch Manning, like we saw in the fourth quarter against Mississippi State. When he had to have it, he came up with the goods. 21 of 27 against Oklahoma in a big win over a, then number 6 ranked team. But it's been a little bit like watching a 14-year-old learn to drive a stick shift. At times there's regression. At times there's, what was that? So they've got to get past that. I mean, the sign of a well-coached team is week-to-week improvement. And they need to start showing week-to-week improvement if they're going to get back in this SEC race.
Yeah, a must-win game today against Vanderbilt. Chip Brown, appreciate you. You can check out more of his work at Horns 24/7. This is definitely a discussion that we need to get into, but unfortunately, I'm being told we have to go to break. So we'll come back and talk some Arch Manning on the other side. Stick with us.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
A crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness! What a performance!
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
The Dodgers scored all of their runs in a 3-run third inning, including a 2-run single from Mookie Betts in the win, forcing a decisive Game 7 tonight in Toronto. The Blue Jays will start 41-year-old right-hander Max Scherzer. The future Hall of Famer will be making his second career Game 7 start in the World Series. Scherzer was on the mound for the Nationals in their Game 7 win over the Astros back in 2019. There's no official word on who will start for the Dodgers, but is reportedly expected to be Shohei Ohtani on short rest. There could be some strategy in picking Ohtani. If he starts tonight, that means he gets to stay in the game as a designated hitter, even if he's replaced on the mound. Game 7 of the World Series will get started at 8 Eastern tonight in Toronto. Back here on College Football Pregame, talking a little Arch Manning ahead of his start here in about an hour, guys. It's hard to believe that we're getting close to kickoffs in college football, and I'm going to speak as if I am a Texas fan because it's a pretty toxic environment right now. But I saw Matthew Caldwell come in at the end of that game in overtime, drop an absolute dime to win them that football game, and so there was a part of me saying, I would be all right if Arch Manning couldn't go today because he was in concussion protocol. I kind of want to see what Caldwell's got in him. So how does Sark manage that? Should he be willing to put in the backup, Matthew Caldwell, if Arch Manning struggles again?
Absolutely not. You know why? Because he didn't do that for Arch Manning last year when Quinn Ewers struggled. Now think about how much Arch could have benefited from some of those reps last year. You had boosters, you had fans, the hype around Arch Manning at Texas last year when he wasn't even playing, by far and away more than what we've seen this year. And so if you weren't willing to give Arch those reps last year, guess what? He's got to get it black and blood. He's got to get it back in blood this year by getting those reps, even if he's not playing well. Listen, he's not going to the draft. Nobody, if you're a smart head football coach or program, nobody's going to offer him a lucrative NIL deal to leave Texas. So if he's going to be your quarterback moving forward, get him the reps now. I don't care how bad he's playing. If he's hurt, That's one thing. If he's healthy and he's available, he needs the reps to become a better quarterback. He needs to be a better passer. He needs to be a better decision maker. So right now, if he's going to be your guy moving forward, he needs the reps.
But Texas has to win this football game.
Oh,
Danny.
yeah, they definitely have to win this football game. I'll say this. If he didn't bench him against Kentucky,
come on,
which was one of the worst offensive performances of any offense that we've seen across the country this season, not just by Texas standards, then I don't think he benches him here. And this is a unique situation, too, because it's Arch Manning. If you do, then all of a sudden it's like, is there a quarterback controversy? Everybody's talking about it. I will say, though, Sark does have a little bit of an out, because you could use the concussion, as hey, he doesn't look like himself. But then you open up a can of worms, because then he's going to be right back in concussion protocol, and you might lose him for the rest of the season for another week. So I don't think he benches him as long as he's healthy. I don't think it matters how he's playing, barring 3 interceptions or something atrocious where it's just so blatantly obvious. I think Sark's going to ride with Arch.
I will say, looking at the numbers from the Kentucky game, 12 for 27 for 130 yards.
It was bad.
I don't know, no matter how bad Arch plays today, I'm not saying that he will, but if he were to play really, really bad, I don't even think you have that out, because there have been times where he's just naturally played that bad to where we ask ourselves as media, is that the real Arch Manning?
So I also think Arch is going to play better. I do think that was a big moment for him against Mississippi State, where he kind of is relieved to take some of that pressure off. But I also thought that was the Oklahoma game, because he had a good game in that one, and then he followed it up with Kentucky. So I think the roller coaster ride of Arch Manning is just going to continue this season.
Yeah, an absolute must-win game for them today against Vanderbilt. So we'll see what Arch Manning looks like on the field. We're going to play a little game of what if. So these are kind of chaos scenarios. The first one, this is so spicy, because at the beginning of the season, we circled Penn State and Ohio State as a huge game. And wah, 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 it is certainly not the case anymore. So Danny, what if Penn State upsets Ohio State today in Columbus?
I mean, it's a story, but it doesn't really impact anything. Ohio State is still going to make the playoffs. Last year they made it at 10-2, right? So even if they lost this game and potentially to Michigan, which that would be a much bigger deal if you lost a 5th time in a row to the Michigan Wolverines. And this is one of those games that I can just hear our guy Tom Fornelli, who didn't like conference expansion or playoff expansion, and he was saying, these games don't mean anything. It would be an argument that they could make. I think it goes more to what do we think of Ohio State as a national championship contender if they don't beat Penn State.
Could affect the Big Ten race. I don't pretend to know all of the tiebreaker scenarios, but there are a few one-loss Big Ten teams who could now be playing for a conference championship, although it worked out well for Ohio State not playing in the Big Ten championship last year since they won the whole dang thing. There's a Gator logo above your head. What if Florida beats Georgia? You put them on upset alert. What if it actually happens?
I would say similar to what Danny just said. I mean, it's a good story, and I think it's a little bit more of a draw to whoever your guy is that you want at head coach. I mean, it shows you, okay, we're still a respectable program that can beat a tough opponent. We're going to give you some good resources, and we hope that you make us better. Take us from contenders to SEC championship, maybe college football playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. But as far as this season goes, this game doesn't matter. I mean, it matters more for Georgia and their hopes of getting into the college football playoffs. I mean, this would be an instrumental loss to their season if they do. But for the Florida Gators, I mean, this is just about morale. This is about keeping guys in the locker room invested, keeping them out of the transfer portal, keeping recruits that are already committed to Florida, keeping their recruitment. That's what a game like this is about for Florida.
If Georgia lost to the Gators, the playoffs would start for them immediately because they would not be able to lose. But if they won out and they beat Texas, if they beat Georgia Tech, then they're in. A 10-2 Georgia team is in. It would just mean there would be more of a sense of urgency and that much less room for error for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Sounds like I haven't created enough chaotic what ifs so far. You guys are dumping some cold water in each one.
Try again. Come on, try again.
Okay, what if Auburn and Florida State both lose again, Danny?
Oh my
what does
gosh.
that
Why
mean
you
for the
gotta go
coaching
there? Why you
situation?
gotta go there? Why you gotta
It's all you, Danny. It's all you, DK.
Which, hey, I have the same question that everybody else is. Why is Florida State favored against anybody because in the ACC?
Wake Forest at home.
Because they have not won a game in a year and a half. If Auburn or Florida State lose, it's just going to make things that much more uncomfortable for both of these programs. I do think Hugh Freeze, who did not get that backing of support from his athletic director, I think it makes it even more comfortable and you possibly might see a change. But Michael Alford, the athletic director of Florida State, has made it clear there is no reason for us to fire Mike Norvell during the season. There's no rush. We're going to evaluate things at the end of the season. So even if Florida State lost to Wake Forest, I don't think you would see a change made. But my goodness, you would hear chants. You would hear chants.
Homecoming, I hear.
You would hear chants from the crowd. You would hear people crying out for Mike Norvell to be fired. But I still would go by Michael Alford at his word and say they would wait till the end of the season.
You know who I think could benefit from Mike Norvell being fired from Florida State?
Who?
Auburn. Because then they go and they hire Mike Norvell. And guess who he brings with him? Guess who he brings with him? Gus Malzahn, former head coach of the Auburn Tigers, current offensive coordinator of the Florida State Seminoles. I mean, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just throwing stuff out there because, I mean, this is a hypothetical segment, right? So what if they both lose and they turn their coaches over and then Auburn just goes down there like, you know what, Mike Norvell, we want you and we want your offensive coordinator. Then Gus Malzahn doesn't have the pressure of running the entire team. He gets to just improve the offense. I mean,
do you remember when Gene Chizik was hired by Auburn and they were booing on the tarmac when he got? I think you might see a certain reaction from Auburn's fan base.
But where did I go to school? I want that. That's what I want.
Oh, he's playing Jedi mind tricks over here.
All right, I got another good one. What if Colorado and Clemson lose again? These are two stories that I feel like are going under the radar. Nobody's talking about this. Clemson has a losing record at this point. I know we put them in the rear view once they lost to Syracuse, but it hasn't gotten better, Danny.
You want me to tackle this one? So if Clemson loses, I think Dabo Swinney is forced to finally take full advantage of the system that is in place with the transfer portal, because what he's currently trying to do is, if you had an NFL team that was only trying to win in the draft and saying, you know what, we don't need free agency, and maybe sign one or two players, if Dabo loses and continues, and I think even at this point, even if they win out, I think Dabo will have to recognize he is trying to win with one arm tied behind his back. I think that's the adjustment that Clemson makes. I think that's the adjustment that gets the fan base back on board for them not to sign 2 or 3 players in the portal, but maybe 12 to 15. You don't have to revamp everything and bring in 40 players, 12 to 15 players to upgrade certain positions at Clemson. That's what I think happens.
I did this with Brian Kelly. I did this with James Franklin. So I'm going to do this with Dabo Swinney. If Clemson loses again, if they continue to lose, I will just say this. Dabo Swinney's name will be the first on the coach's hot seat list going into next year. It'll be the first, it will be the biggest, and it will be the most warranted, because for a program that has been to the heights that Clemson has been to, for the success that Dabo Swinney has had, even throughout an extended period of time, the fact that he has not been able to mold himself and adapt with the game around him, it is showing. And Clemson fans, they're not happy. They've been in my comments telling me that they're not happy with Dabo Swinney, so I believe them. So that's all I will say. If Clemson continues to lose, if they do not get it together by the end of this year, which it's going to be hard because, like you said, they have a losing record. So what is getting it together even mean for this season? Dabo Swinney is going to be the biggest and the most warranted name on the coaching carousel to start next season. And I would say the same thing for Colorado and Deion Sanders. Not that he needs to be on the hot seat, but he might need to readjust his thinking. Is this really what I want to do? Is this really where I want to be? Granted, I was here with my son. I was here with Travis Hunter, guys that allowed me to be better than what our team actually was. You don't have that luxury anymore. So maybe it'll be time for him to start reconsidering some other options.
I think if Colorado kind of loses out, I don't think he would make this decision in season, because I think Deion's been great for college football. I think he's been great for Colorado. I think even with a bad season, his fan base still appreciates him. Yeah. But I do think Deion would seriously consider stepping away, maybe for a hiatus of a year. Maybe he'd step away and say, you know what, right now, I need to take care of my health, because we've seen his battle with cancer and he's still going through issues. He missed the entire offseason in Boulder, which I think is probably a reason this team is struggling. So that ultimately, I think it would be sad. I like Coach Prime being a part of college football, but I do think at some point he has to realize, man, all that's on my plate right now with my health, maybe it's best for everybody if I just step away for a little bit. And then I honestly don't know what Colorado would do. Would they instill an interim coach and say, we'll wait for you, Coach Prime? Or do they say, we've loved this time, but we're going to try to go in a different direction. I don't know the answer.
And if they do, and let's say he does take that hiatus, his health gets back under regulation, he can get back into coaching. Yeah. I guarantee you, if a job like Clemson comes open, or if Florida's still open, or if some of these big programs are open, we'll see Deion Sanders with one of these humongous contracts, with one of these humongous buyouts, and he's going to be sitting right where he wants to be.
And we could see even more carnage happen next year, because I believe there's probably some teams right now that are just sitting put because they don't want to have to compete with an LSU and a Florida and a Penn State. And they said, we'll stick with our guy for one more year and we'll hop in the game next year. All very interesting. But guys, there's been a lot of talk about the quarterback play at Texas. So who better to talk to about it than a former Texas quarterback? Colt McCoy joins the show to talk a little Arch Manning next.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's your plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
These 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Back here on College Football Pregame, presented by FanDuel. Danny Kanell, Damian Harris, I am Emily Proud, and there is a new Billy in town. Billy Gonzalez is stepping in as the interim head coach for Florida today in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. I won't tell you how many times they've played because we know these teams notoriously disagree based on how many meetings, but it is over 100, I'll tell you that much. There's also a new play caller. The quarterback's coach, Ryan O'Hara, will now take over as a play caller for DJ Lagway. So I'm curious, how do you think this could affect Lagway? Because there's a lot of Florida fans out there saying it's time for him to be unleashed.
Well, and that's what they're hoping for, right? And there's two sides of the coin, right? There's one side is DJ Lagway, he just opens it up. You got a new coordinator that just lets you go out there and just play football, have fun, be explosive, do what you're capable of doing, and do it without fear. Because that's really what has hampered DJ Lagway. It looks like just a fear of turning the ball over, a fear that he's not playing well enough, a fear that missed out on so much time during the offseason. It's really limiting my ability to go out and do what I need to do. So use that to your advantage. Now, the other side of the coin is, again, you just fired your head coach. Your season has gone absolutely nowhere. So this could be an opportunity for DJ Lagway, the locker room, to just completely go out there and lie down. That's what we're going to be evaluating in terms of competitive stamina with this team. Are they going to look at this as a new heartbeat, a new life to their season and just go out and play carefree? Or with the firing of your head coach, some guys might already be out the door. Are you just going on chill mode for the rest of the season, already looking at potential transfer destinations? Am I going to enter the draft, so on and so forth?
There's also a potential if you unleash DJ Lagway. You could say they unleashed him in Baton Rouge against LSU, and he threw 5 interceptions. Like, maybe you don't want to unleash him that much. You can have a little bit of fun. Let's go over the top. But I do think with his legs more, I also think getting Dallas Wilson, the freshman wide receiver who's been incredible, more involved in the game, giving him a better run game to take some of that pressure off of his shoulders. I am genuinely curious to see if Florida does anything dramatically different, because Billy Napier refused to give up play calling, right? That was a big point of contention this past offseason. He basically bet on himself, and we saw that bet, come to fruition when he was fired. So I'm very curious to see if there is this other level. I do think from a stress standpoint, I think this Florida Gator team probably felt the weight of the world, because I do think those players like Billy Napier, and they're probably thinking every week, oh my goodness, if we don't play well, our coach is going to get fired. Well, guess what? Now he's gone. Maybe they play a little bit looser, a little bit stress-free, and go out there and play loose and just go after the football and just have some fun out there, as opposed to what's going to happen. Now they know, and it's turned out not that bad. Also, they are seriously trying to channel their inner 1996 Florida Gators by having Steve Spurrier Jr. be the quarterback coach for DJ Lagway. They want to see this offense all of a sudden turn into fun and gun from back in the 90s. I think that's a stretch to want to see that. But I genuinely am curious to see what you get from the Gators today.
And even just the fact, it's a rivalry game. You never know what to expect in rivalry games. Head coach or not, quarterback struggles or not, Georgia being good, they've lost one game this year, doesn't matter. When you get to a rivalry game, anything can be flipped and turned upside down, especially with all the things that we're talking about with this Florida team having the ability to just go out and just play free and fast.
Yeah, both of these teams coming off a bye. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the quarterback on the other side. The last time we saw Gunnar Stockton play in the second half against Ole Miss, went 12 for 12 for 3 touchdowns, so he is playing lights out. No need to re-unleash him. He has already been unleashed. We've also got big time on CBS between number 2 Indiana at Maryland. IU averages a lot of points, 45.5 per game. Danny, how is this team somehow better than last year?
I think I thought this going into the season, I thought they upgraded at the quarterback position, going from Curtis Work to Fernando Mendoza, but I didn't think they would get this much better. And I think it's a testament to Fernando Mendoza, but I think it's also the consistency in the program where they still have a very clear identity. As much as they go big play hunting and get them with guys like Elijah Surratt, they're also still a very physical football team on both sides of the football. So I think they're getting great execution. They're highly focused. Their intensity level never drops every week. And I think that's a direct result of Kirk Cignetti, where he started some of his coaching career was at the University of Alabama under Nick Saban. I think that's where he gets this mentality of never letting off the gas and having that letdown game.
It's funny that you bring that up, because I'm just sitting here thinking about how when I look at this Indiana football team, they're just the New England Patriots of college football.
Killers.
I mean, when you talk about what Bill Belichick meant for the New England Patriots, well, guess what? That's Kirk Cignetti. Tom Brady, oh, well, guess what? That's 6'5" Fernando Mendoza. And then you've got guys like Elijah Surratt. Yeah, he's having a phenomenal year, but going into the season, he wasn't the big name receiver that we were like, and this guy, he's going to win the Fred Biletnikoff. That sounds like guys like Julian Edelman, they're tough in the trenches offensively and defensively. They get great quarterback play. It's very efficient. He doesn't turn the football over. They run the ball well, and they play great defense. So with all this talk about, is it about paying the most money for a roster? Is it about this or is it about? No, it's about having a formula that Kirk Cignetti has and getting your players to buy into it and believe it and get to a point where they're a player-led team, which they are by Fernando Mendoza, and then that's when you start to see success.
Biggest difference with the Patriots, though, I would much rather stick a microphone in Kirk Cignetti's face than in Bill Belichick's, because he has some fun things
Although
to
Bill
say.
Belichick was very happy last night. They got their first ACC win.
Yeah, lately, but through those Patriots days, oh my gosh, like watching paint dry. Speaking of microphones, we're going to hear our friends Jenny, Brad, and Gary on the call for this one, and they join us with some more.
We have the number 2 team in the country, the Indiana Hoosiers, coming into Maryland. I think you look at this game, a lot of people think, hey, Indiana's going to run away with it, but this is a tough Maryland team.
Absolutely. Very competitive. Easily could have won 1, maybe 2 more football games. They're balanced. Good young quarterback. I think they'll compete.
3 losses by a total of 10 points for Maryland. That's just tough because, as Gary said, we could be looking at a couple undefeated teams with a break here or there.
A break here or there. Let's talk about those quarterbacks. You just mentioned their young quarterback in Malik Washington. He is a homegrown guy. Loxley has known him since he's been a young kid. I mean, he was at prom like a few months ago. Absolutely. It really is impressive what he's been able to accomplish.
And it's the thing. It's like he's got eyes on the back of his head sometimes. You know, he almost can see anything on every play, never gets fooled by what's happening around him. He's just one of those players that everybody with him plays better.
He's got over 1,700 yards passing for a true freshman and 11 touchdowns, and those are 2 of the top rankings in the country at that position. So I'm looking forward to watching him play.
Okay, and let's talk about on the other side. We have Fernando Mendoza going at it, the betting favorite to win the Heisman right now. What's impressed you about him?
His steadiness, his ability to throw the ball all over the field. I mean, people think he's
what are you
very good player.
It's going to be a really good game.
Mendoza?
That's Mendoza.
Hi. Okay, what do you think he's going to do in this game?
I don't know. He's got the wrong color helmet. That's all
Is this a cucumber?
Looking forward to this one. We really are.
Okay, since it's Halloween, real quick, favorite Halloween candy. Let's throw it out there. Halloween weekend.
I'm a Kit Kat guy, to tell you the truth.
I'm kind of a Kit Kat guy, too. But I don't know if they had Kit Kats when I was a kid, to be honest with you.
That's true.
What about you?
The only thing I don't like is that corn stuff.
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
No.
Yeah, I don't like candy. I actually prefer cucumbers. So, hey, watch our game, 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
So this is what happens when we reach at this point in the season. That booth is absolutely unhinged. I was waiting for somebody to acknowledge the pickle with eyeballs, but hey, don't forget, we have this game, big time, 3:30, CBS, Indiana, Maryland. You can watch on CBS.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day 1.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes. New season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
A crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, 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 crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Back here on college football pregame presented by FanDuel, and is there a more beautiful sight in all of football? We are half an hour until kickoff week 10. We've got Army and Air Force. It is the second leg of the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy kicking off at noon on CBS, but there are a lot of big-time college football games kicking at noon. A big one down in Austin, Texas, a must-win for the Longhorns as they host Vanderbilt. We will have our eyes peeled on all of this action and, of course, continue to bring it to you and all the reaction here on CBS Sports HQ. But if we're talking Texas, we got to bring in our friend Colt McCoy, former national championship winning quarterback for Texas. Colt, you are on your way to this game. How's it going?
It is great. I'm so excited to be on my way. We're cutting it close, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're in the car, we're kicking off here in half an hour. But we enjoy the fact that we get to talk to you about this game. And you know what, Colt? I don't want to mess around anymore. We know the conversation about the quarterback, about Arch Manning. What's your take on the quarterback play that Texas is getting this year?
Yeah, listen, it's a growth process. It's a young football team. It's very different than what we were last year with a veteran offensive line and receivers who had a lot of reps under their belt. Our running back room has been banged up, and Arch is a young quarterback. He's played 7 or 8 games, and so I think that he's grown up every week. I think he played great last week, especially in the second half, and I'm glad that he's able to continue this week and got out of the concussion protocol. And he's a great kid. He can make all the throws. He's really smart. He's a great leader. But not only Arch, he gets a lot of the focus, but I think our football team is all kind of maturing as the season goes on, and they're finding ways to win each week, and hopefully that's the case this week.
Colt, I thought last week's game, the 24-point comeback, record high for passing yardage, I thought that could be a pivot point for Arch Manning. I'm curious to know, at your time at Texas, did you ever have a game that you looked at was like, not only the way you looked at yourself, but your teammates looked at you differently? Because I feel like that's what it could be for Arch.
Yeah, look, I think you look at the second half last week and forget what we saw on the field, but it's what I saw on the sidelines. Guys were, rallying around Arch, and they were fired up. They kind of got some big plays and got themselves right back in the game, and you could see like the momentum fully shift. And Arch was the leader of that. I look back at some of the times my freshman year, we had a lot of close games, but when you win a game on the road, I remember we beat Nebraska. On a last-second field goal, and like the momentum that carried with our team from that win, and knowing that you could go out there and do it, the confidence that I got from that made a huge difference for the rest of the year and kind of the rest of my career. And so maybe that propels us, from last week's win, and I think that's a much better close win than the week before against Kentucky for sure. But they've found ways to do it, and that's a big step for a young football team.
Colt, when I look at this Texas team, I see a lot of blame on Arch Manning, but I see problems in other areas. What can the guys around Arch do, one, to give him more confidence to go out and be the leader that he is, be the player that he is, and show off what he's got, but also just to play better around him to lift the level of play of their team? What do you think this Texas team needs on top of just better play from Arch Manning?
Yeah, great question. I mean, Danny played quarterback. You got to have a run game, and you got to catch the football. We're dropping the ball way too much. And I know Arch has had his struggles, but at the same time, when he cuts it loose, we got to come down with it and make some plays. And I think getting the run game going will be really helpful. You look back at the Oklahoma game, our ability to run the football kept us in third and manageable situations, and we converted those a lot higher than we did the third and long. So I think just those two things alone will not only help a struggling offensive line, but when there's big plays to be had and catch and runs, like we got to make those catches, and we got to run the football.
I'm sure today is fun for you because you get to go back to a place that you love and that loves you. But I'm curious, as a former player and as a quarterback, how stressed are you during these games knowing that you can't go out there and do anything?
Yeah, sorry, my camera's going out.
Oh.
I mean, we're all competitors. You know, I know that after I tore my elbow up a couple years ago, I can't throw the ball anymore, so that's helped my brain actually. But you see the game a little differently, you know. And I think for me, I want these guys to play well because I kind of know them. I know Arch. I know how hard they work. Coach Sark is a fantastic football coach. I know the time and the energy that it takes to be a good football team, and I see the growth of this squad. They're young guys, but they're also very talented, and I know they can figure it out. And you know, there's glimpses week to week, and so you know, the first time being back home in this stadium in a month, you know, hopefully they come out ready to play and firing on all cylinders, and they can figure out how to run the football and get another SEC win.
Love it. Colt McCoy, I guess I can't tell you to drive safe because your life is in somebody else's hand, but be a safe passenger and enjoy the game. We appreciate you joining us.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Love it. There we go. Colt McCoy. That's just a great perspective on everything that's happening at the quarterback position. But that is not the only game that is kicking off at noon. And I think we've talked a lot about this one. I want to go to Penn State, Ohio State, because we're trying to maybe put Ohio State on upset alert to make this game a little bit more interesting. But if we want to learn about Ohio State, Danny, do you think this is a good opportunity based on the defense that Penn State is bringing?
Absolutely. That's my one question mark and kind of concern, if there is any, about Ohio State, is when are they going to get tested in the fourth quarter when they look up at the scoreboard and it's tied or they're down 3 and they need to drive. And even that may not happen today. But I do think this will be one of the better defensive fronts that they have faced on the season. They had a nice win on the road at Washington. That defense was pretty good, but it did hold them to only 24 points. You know, so they really haven't been challenged like this. Also, Jim Knowles, who there is no love lost between Ryan Day and Jim Knowles, who left Ohio State. He also might know some of the ins and outs of that offense to try to take away the things that they like to do best. Like, how do you make them uncomfortable? So I'm curious to see how Julian Sand and company respond to what I think will be a good challenge for them on the defense side of the ball. Penn State's defense, I have major concerns. Like, if Penn State's to keep this close, it is a lower scoring game because I don't think them with a backup quarterback, with an offense that has struggled all season long, can do much against that defense. But I think it'll be a good challenge for the offense.
What can we learn about Ohio State today?
Outside of what Danny just said, I think you know what, matter of fact, I'm gonna just say something real quick. I mean, I want to get something. The way you framed that question, I couldn't really get to what I wanted to get to. So please forgive me.
I'm sorry. I love asking you questions, but you're like, I'm taking
this a different direction. Jeremiah Smith. Ooh. I'm on you now. Where you been?
Oh.
Do we need to put out a missing persons report? Because if I'm not mistaken, for as much criticism as I've given Ryan Williams is only, 50 yards behind Jeremiah Smith for receiving yards? Now, I watched him. Now, I watched Jeremiah Smith against Wisconsin. Now, when I saw those 50-50 balls, Danny, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because you were there too. He didn't look aggressive going up and getting the ball. He didn't look explosive in his run after the catch and the few opportunities that he did get. My question for Jeremiah Smith is he too relaxed and too comfortable because he knows he's just that much better than everybody that lines up across from him, right? Because that can be detrimental to his progress and progression as a football player. And I think we've seen a lot of that this year. There was a lot of expectation. It was unanimous from everybody. He was going to be the Heisman Trophy winner this year, the Biletnikoff winner. We haven't seen that type of dominance from Jeremiah Smith. Granted, the offense has been great. Julian Sand's been great. They ran the ball well. The defense has been phenomenal. But again, when we talk about Ohio State being tested, we need to see guys like Jeremiah Smith show up, show out, be the best football player on the field. That is what we can learn from Ohio State
last
today.
time you called out Ryan Williams. He balled out later that day.
He hadn't really done it all the way through since then.
Prove me wrong. I love all types of pie, especially humble.
All right. Well, Maryland is playing in a pretty big game today. So let's talk to the head Terp. That is Mike Locksley. He will join us after the break. Stick with us here on CBS Sports HQ. That's Damian Harris.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
A crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
The global sports phenomenon has a new home.
Coming down the mountain!
UFC on Paramount+. Streaming this January.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
It's big time on CBS. Number 2, Indiana in College Park, Maryland, to take on a young and feisty Terps team. You can watch it at 3:30 on CBS. Let's welcome on the head coach of Maryland, Mike Locksley. So kind to join us this morning. Coach, how are we feeling? We're getting kind of close to kick.
What's going on? How you guys doing? What's up, Damien?
Yo, what's going on?
Know these two, these two know each other well. Former offensive coordinator at Alabama, but we have all eyes on this matchup today, Coach. And I think I read somewhere you got 64 new players on this roster. You got a lot of youth. What's the challenge in making it all work?
Trying to put it in the microwave and get it to grow really fast or cook really fast. Youth serves us well in that they have short memories. They enjoy to go play the game, and what a great opportunity to have a top 2 team here at home for homecoming. I'll go figure that. We're playing the number 2 team in the country for homecoming. But I know this young team's excited about the opportunity. We're excited to get over to the stadium and get this thing going.
Coach, both you and Curt Cignetti obviously have experience with the Nick Saban coaching tree. What do you think you can take from your time with Coach Saban to motivate your team and help you win this football game today?
Yeah, I know. I think it always starts when you've been there. I spent 3 years under coach, and I know Curt spent time under him as well. Is that you control the controllables? You don't let the outcome. You don't become outcome oriented. You got to stay within the process throughout the game. And for us, it's about getting 4 more on 1st and 10, and staying on track on offense, and then on defense, being able to get off the field on 3rd down, and on special teams, win the vertical field position.
Coach, we were talking before you popped on here during the break about your young quarterback, the freshman Malik Washington. He's been so much fun to watch, his development. How has it been for you to kind of deal with somebody his first time playing college football? You know there are going to be ups and downs. How have you kind of held his hand to get through the season to this point?
Yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to Pep Hamilton in that, if you look at Pep's background as a quarterback guy, he's coached rookies like Alex Smith and Justin Herbert, and he's had Andrew Luck and some of these guys. And one of the things that we wanted to do once we made the decision with Malik being our starter is you want to protect them at all costs. And so we have kind of kept backs in and chipped a lot. He hasn't been hit very much all season, which has allowed him to gain some confidence. What we've got to get done today is some explosive plays in the run game, which, number 34, who's on this call, on this Zoom with us here, give us a few of those explosive plays.
Coach, defensively, your team, you've got 14 interceptions, 22 sacks on the year. You're top 10 in the country in total turnover ratio. Speak about how important it is to get pressure on this Indiana offense, especially Fernando Mendoza, and not let him just sit in the pocket and pick your defense apart like the NFL quarterback that he's going to be someday.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is, Damian. It's important for us. How they go, the quarterback is the guy that's leading the charge, and so we have to find a way to affect them. Fortunately for us, we've got some dynamic pass rushers that have been able to put pressures on the quarterbacks. We've been able to get the hands up, and he's one of those guys that if you can't get to him, you have to try to affect the throws. And one of the things we've gotten now is a little more length on our defensive front, which allows us to maybe affect some of these throws. But he's a really talented quarterback that we've got to find a way to keep him in those 3rd and longs, which means being good on 1st and 2nd down.
Coach, I think we might need a Damian Harris story from back in the day. What can you tell us about coaching this young man? Because we have to deal with him.
Keep it PG now.
There is no surprise at all in my mind that he's sitting right where he's sitting doing exactly what he's doing. And he's going to tell you what and how he feels. I love it.
That is true. Hey, listen, I only know how to tell it one way. Reality is my nationality. Locks knows that now. He knows.
Coach,
yes, we do.
Yeah, I love it. Coach, I got to ask you a question. I feel like you're a statesman of the game. I always like your views. You were one of the first of the coaches that was really campaigning for players to be paid, and we've gotten to that place where now we have the rev share. I'm curious to know what you think about the state of coaching. When you see these coaches fired and they're getting $50 million buyouts and their team is still 5-3 in some circumstances, and then you're seeing newer and bigger contracts backed up there. What does it say about the state of college football, the volatility we're seeing this coaching cycle?
I mean, it means it's a business, and it's always been that. It's been in our favor as coaches for quite a while. And, one of the things that I've adapted, I'm not a victim, and I won't be. So regardless of what happens, every coach is at some point are going to either get hired or fired. Some of these guys that have gotten fired have gotten paid a lot of money. We all know what we've signed up for in this revenue share college landscape that we're in. The only thing I would say is as coaches is that, if we have these expectations, let's make sure that the resources back them. And in some of these cases they have. And I'm excited that I have an administration here that understands that if we want to make the jump and you look at this young roster that we have, it's a byproduct of the decisions that have been made here on campus to give us a chance to compete.
Yeah, that alignment is very important. Coach Mike Locksley, thank you so much for being here with us this morning, and best of luck this afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it. I love A little reunion here between Loxley and Damian Harris, but as a reminder, you've got the triple header on CBS. Army, Air Force, Indiana, Maryland, and the Pac-12 championship game between Washington State and Oregon State. Let's talk a little parlay pick. We know our friends Mikey and Mackenzie are just dying to give it to you. The pay for the drinks parlay, that's coming up after the break. Stick with us here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, 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 crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Every week, FanDuel is giving you a 50% profit boost on the biggest college football showdown. That means you could boost your winnings by 50% on the biggest matchup. Download the FanDuel app and bet the big match on campus with a boost right now. Right now, it's time for our parlay pick. So we just went ahead and we brought Mackenzie and Mikey to the desk with us. Guys, this is a noon parlay, which means that we're all going to be sweating along with you for the next 3.5 hours. So where are we turning our attention?
Yes, this is a four-leg, the 12 p.m. of dreams is what we were calling this four-leg parlay. Just a little something to get the day started, a little 10-1 something to get the day started here. A few legs we like. Duke plus a 3.5.
Love that. If
Love
there was a team that I don't believe in, it's Clemson.
Correct.
And you tell me I get 3 points with Duke? Sure you can.
Sure you can. Vandy plus a 3.5.
I don't believe in Arch Manning at all, do you?
I know, but I do like Vanderbilt with a 3.5.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
a Diego
like
Pavia prove-it game.
And how about a Baylor money line?
In this household?
Sawyer Robertson's a stud.
This is where we got you.
This is where we get you.
Oh, boy.
Get in the trench.
Get in the trench. The Illinois Rutgers over 62.5 trench.
Oh, my God.
Hey. Luke Altmaier, 2 games where the offense is stalled. Now he gets to come home. He gets that Rutgers defense.
And let me tell you.
Versus the Greek rifle who's been airing it out.
Oh, it's 63.5 now, guys.
Wow, we're moving the
We ain't
line.
scared.
Okay.
I'm getting in on this with the young kids.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
We're gonna
watch
you know
all
this
these games
means you
together.
have to watch that game, right?
Oh, yes. We're going to be in the
That's all
same
right. That's
trench
why we
watching
have
the same game.
That's why we have a lot of televisions upstairs. So we
Yes.
will be keeping our eyes on this noon window parlay. Once again, FanDuel hook you up with a 50% profit boost. Scan that QR code. Let's make some picks because that is what we do at the end of the show. And let's start things off with Vanderbilt and Texas. A lot of talk around what we think could happen. This is a short line here, but straight up, who wins this game?
Give me Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia prove-it game. Arch Manning's been struggling. The Texas offense as a whole, they can't throw the ball, they can't run it. This Vandy team is also good defensively. I like what they're building down in Tennessee. Give me the Doers.
See, I'm going to go with Texas here. I think their defense is so awesome. And I don't really care about the offense right now. I think this defense is what's going to win them this game. If I were to take a side, I would go maybe Vandy team total under. But I'll go with Texas just to win.
I'm going to go Vanderbilt. I feel like Diego Pavia and Arch Manning. Arch Manning's kind of the villain to what I would assume Diego Pavia's story is. You got a quarterback that his whole life has been told he can't do it, and a quarterback that everyone says got there because of his name. And I think Pavia has a great chance to go. This is why I'm the guy.
So you like the storyline?
Love the story.
You know what's really important and tricky and hard to do sometimes? You have to use discipline when you look at your numbers. This is where I think it's huge. If it's 2.5, I like to lay it with Texas. If it's 3.5, then I kind of like the Doors, which is why I like the under in the game. Because I think this is a defensive-led game. I don't trust Arch Manning yet. I think they try to run the football. And I'm not sold on Diego Pavia just lighting up that Texas defense. So my favorite play is the under, and then it depends on what the point spread is. So if it's 3.5, that's where I like Vanderbilt.
And not a lot of points in that game for Vanderbilt's offense. They had one big 80-yard play, but not a lot of offense there. So, okay, thank goodness somebody picked Texas so we don't get screenshot there.
Yeah, that's
Oh, you gotta do the.
It's hard when she picks second, though. She doesn't know what everybody else is. Surprising everybody here. We're going to pick this next game against the spread. Ohio State, 18.5-point favorite against Penn State. Where's the play?
Give me the Ohio State. Give me them with the spread. Just next. I don't need to talk about this.
I don't know. It makes way too much sense to me. Something weird's going to happen today, and I don't think Penn State necessarily has to win, but maybe a fourth quarter backdoor cover, 18.5. Curious to see what these guys are playing for, and they might be trying harder than we think.
It's a ton of points, but I agree with Damien. I think it's just you take Ohio State and move on.
Yeah.
Me and Ken's are seeing eye to eye right here because it seems too easy. Like Ohio State's rolling through everybody. I think Penn State's defense is the thing that keeps this thing close. So I'll take those points with Penn State.
All right, Oklahoma and Tennessee, dark mode at night. I told you before this show, Josh Heupel 3-0, wearing those black jerseys. What's the pick, Damien?
Emily, I hate, because you and I are such good friends.
Okay.
We are. You and I are such good friends, Emily. And because of that, I'm going with the Tennessee Volunteers. Give me Joey Aguilar. And this offense is scoring 50 points a game, averaging more first downs, moving the ball down the field than any other team in college football. Listen, I know this Brent Venables defense is what they hang their hat on. I think Joey Aguilar dices them up today. Just dialing it up. Give me the balls, Proud.
That's my friend. Let's see how many more friends I have at the desk.
Soft, Damien. Just soft. Give me the Sooners and the under.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mikey, back me up.
I have a classic system where you bet on uniforms, and this could be a potential uniform bet. However, it's the Sooners. I'm sorry. 3 points in my pocket?
So you're willing to just get rid of your values there, and
all my values are
that's how
friendship,
strongly
and
you
it's
feel.
all out the door.
Because if you're busting your system, though, which I don't like, because the dark mode unis are kind of filthy.
They are so good.
I'm going with the uniforms, but I'm also going. Everybody remember Dr. Shen, the doctor that did the geometry? They were going to put a statue. They were giving him a day. Been awful quiet on that front since he's come back from the surgery. Also, I don't trust John Mateer yet. Even before he had the surgery, he was a little bit loose with the football. No, you just like
He's a backyard football
player.
He does have nice
been
hair.
a little bit too erratic.
Backyard football player.
I don't trust him on the road in Knoxville. Give me the Vols.
All right, there's also a little bit of medical news. It's sad, though. Smokey X has been diagnosed with cancer.
Stop.
He has retired, so he's not the Smokey that's out there, but I gotta believe the Vols are playing for Smokey today.
Make it a 10. Yeah, man. All right. Hey, flip me.
There we go. After all the action is done, tune in to the Cover 3 podcast for a full recap of everything. If you're old like me, it makes fantastic Sunday morning listens. So stick with us here on HQ because get ready for big time on CBS. Number 2, Indiana at Maryland. We'll be back here at 2 o'clock getting you ready for kickoff here on CBS Sports HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.